Right, we'll be doing some work on this bike, specifically to show you how to or what to look for when you're buying a used bike. Narrow down your list with brands that are familiar to you. Make a visit to inspect the frame, the fork, components, and probably the wheel set. Inspect the welds on the frame as well as the cable mounts. When you're there, check the paint for bubbles, as they are the telltale signs of corrosion. Check the fork and the brake set for leaks. Take the bike for a spin. Shift the gears up and down to find out if they're worn out or still working. From there, you should be able to find out also the status of the bearing on the headset, the bottom bracket, even on the wheels. The deciding factor for me on this bike is the actual size. It's a 27.5 or 650B large, I think around 19 to 20, and a Giant Talon. Since experiencing the benefits of a fitted bike, I've been very particular to the size and geometry of the bikes that I ride. Out of all the bikes that I've checked, this was the closest in dimension compared to the bike that has been somewhat fitted ideally for me. So yes, in every bike that I checked, I brought this meter with me. I had to measure the seat tube, the top tube, and even the down tube to make sure that I have the correct angle that I'm looking for. And I even had to measure the chainstay and the seat stay, because I needed to make sure that the 29er wheel set that I'll be using on this 27.5 frame would fit, of course. I was able to score a Shimano MT15 29er wheel set, and of course with free tires. And I even made a video of having these parts converted into tubeless. Yeah, check it out later. The only thing that I was able to overlook was the actual ride height. This was an issue for me why I decided to get a small frame in the past, but hey, with all the positives that I got from this frame, I think it's a good buy still. After the size and dimensions, let's look at the components. By the looks of it, of course, this bike has an Alivio Groupset. When I say group set, it's a straight Alivio Groupset, where the crank is Alivio, the derailleur, rear derailleur, and front derailleur is Alivio, and the brakes, the combo brakes and the shifters are also the Alivio. Oh yeah, and the hubs, that's also Alivio. And if I'm not mistaken, the 4050 that this has is 2015 or 2016, and this is your standard Giant saddle and seat post, and of course your standard Suntour XCT with hydraulic lockout that's been leaking oil somewhat, but again, just like what I said, look for the tires that's easy to repair and easy to replace. Based on the first pictures and the stem that I just hold on to, this bike was set up for somewhat a downhill look. In checking the drivetrain, start with the rear mech. Make sure it's still snappy as the spring lets the mech falls into place. Check the cables and the mounts as well as the cogs. Check for wear. Sometimes it's just dirty, so it's just a matter of cleaning. Check the brakes if it's a little spongy. Maybe it just needs a little bleeding. We'll make a video, a quick DIY on how to bleed your brakes without even removing it. Now, off to the front mech, same goes. Make sure that the mech is moving, of course, shifting gears from the small chain wheel to the larger chain wheel. And of course, the cables, if they look worn out and feel worn out, it's just a matter of having them replaced. Now, again, the fork, we'll make a separate video out of on how to tune up your fork. Again, this is an SR Suntour XCT. So we had a few days to work on the frame, and we tested it out options, or many options, on getting it cleaned, as it is a little bit gunked. So first things first, we tried Wipeout, which somewhat damaged the the paint on the top tube. As you can see, that there's a glossy part and there's a matte part. So we stopped using the solvent-based wipeout and switched over to the automotive rubbing compound. Did the compound about 2-3 times, and it somewhat revealed the true color of the frame. Alright, the bike was ride worthy as it is. We just had to switch this short downhill stem to an 80mm ITM stem, if I'm not mistaken, that came from the old Harrow bike. And what else? Oh yeah, we dropped the stem, removed the original headset spacer that it had. It's about 1 inch high from, there we go, that spacer. We removed that, swapped it out, and dropped the stem to the smallest spacer near the headset, or top part of the headset. So this steer tube is due to be cut in the next few days. So yeah, we were able to get the job that we want, the angle, the geometry that we want, and yeah, let's enjoy the ride. I hope this has been informative, and till next time, bye.